Hi, I'm Potato.
Hi, I'm Darren.
Hi, I'm Zahra.
And this is the SSSC Show. Cue introduction. They play the music now. Okay. Good day, ladies. Good day, ladies, gentlemen, and potatoes. I am Potato and I will be your host for today. We have been blessed with the presence of two very beautiful individuals. Let's begin with you. Introduce yourselves to the crowd.
Alright, I'm Darren and I'm from the Green Club.
And you?
Hi, I'm Zahra and I'm from Biotech Club.
Nice to meet you, Darren and Zahra.
Nice to meet you too.
Okay, so we know that Swinburne has a lot of efforts that are faced towards sustainability. Even recently, have you heard about the associate professor, Dr. Aida Fatmawati? She won the UN Women's. Let me refer to this. The UN Women's Malaysia WAPS Award. Yeah, 2020. So we know we're on the right track. But today's conversation is going to be about how we as individuals, the individual stakeholders of Swinburne, the students, the potatoes back at home watching us, how we can contribute to sustainability. And I couldn't think of two better clubs to talk about this. Okay, before we begin, let's introduce the clubs to the people. What does the Biotech Club of Swinburne Sarawak do?
Okay, so the Biotech Club is actually about science. So we
I had no idea.
so we do all the stuff that's related to biotech. Also, we do like industrial visitation. So we tell people who are not in biotech what biotech is about. So we perform many workshops and experiments. Like the recent workshop we had this semester was actually about how to extract your DNA. Okay, not your DNA, but like how to extract DNA. We did strawberries and kiwis.
Can we do
and
potatoes?
bananas.
I've
We
asked
can
you
do
this
that
question
too.
before.
Yes, you have asked me. We can do that too, but it requires like you need to make sure that you're converting that fruit into a pulp, like mashing it up, so it's more easy for us to extract the DNA. And then the other workshop we had was about the plant tissue culture. So you making the tiny plants. So other than that, we do STEM outreach events. So one of the events that we had this previous semester was actually it was about how to find the anti-cancer drug.
Okay.
So we tested multiple samples, and then we tried to. Okay, it was about a. So it was a school activity. So it was for the students who are from age 12 to 16. So of course we won't be like giving them the original the exact chemicals, but it was more of like a concept-based activity.
Oh, okay.
So we told them how you can combine different chemicals and how you find out. So this chemical might have some anti-cancer properties.
And this is how you find out if you do.
And this is how you find out
Is
if they
this
do.
the one where you use the cabbage juice?
Yes.
Oh, so familiar. I wonder why. What about you, Darren? What is the Green Club about?
Alright, so Green Club do promotes about sustainability. It's a sustainability club in Swinburne. Like we had like those recycle bin in around Swinburne on campus. Yeah. And previously we have like a pamphlet section where we make books from recycled paper, and like quite recently we have a lot of talks from like WCS, Kuching beach cleaners,
WCS?
Wildlife Conservation Society. Yeah, and we got like talks around like from people from other organizations. Yeah, so we do this to like make people that's aware like what's happening around us, and yeah, pretty much that's what we do. And like last year we did a lot of beach cleanup like on a monthly basis, but due to COVID-19, so we cannot do a lot of that now, and a lot of on-campus activity, but still we try our best to promote like all this stuff to audience all around the world.
So I guess in both cases, your clubs have similarities in your concerns, but the way you execute them are very different. Yours is more science-based with experiments, and you, despite being a club that is under a faculty of biotechnology, you still have people from like me, from the business end of things, who join, and it's fun to do experiments, I have to admit. I really like the cabbage one. but I asked for potatoes. It's fine.
Next time we will do potatoes, don't worry about it.
Thank you. We can do it at our house too, right?
Oh yes, for sure, we can do it.
Okay, maybe we'll record that too.
Oh, that would be
Yeah,
fun.
you can join us, Darren.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yes. And then in your case, in the Green Club's case, you guys do more, you're more event based and
Yeah.
you reach out to the wider audience as well. Okay, well that's interesting. So you're similar but you're different as well.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I don't have to be a biotech student, just to clarify, to
For
join
sure.
the Biotech
Yeah.
Club. And
You don't have to be a biotech student to join the club.
Yeah.
We're open to everyone.
even your
Yes.
committee members.
Oh yes, we have experts from all the disciplines.
You're right. Okay.
For example, engineering, business, even design. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Now you talked about the pandemic and how it's affected the clubs.
Yeah.
Now I think, what do you guys think about how sustainability and the pandemic are in line?
You
Maybe
go.
you first. Alright.
Okay.
Why is sustainability so important, and how has the pandemic showed us how important sustainability is?
Okay, so I think you might have read this sentence a lot online that COVID-19 is actually a vaccine to the planet. So
Oh yeah, I have actually. Yeah.
so what it meant by that is actually there was a lot of carbon emission and all of our environment was very badly affected.
Yeah.
And then due to transportation, there was literally a lot of carbon emission and other pollution created by humans.
Right.
But since this pandemic hit us and then everything just stopped, so there was like a pause for a few months. So there was no carbon emission, everyone was just at their home, everyone was contributing to, contributing less environmental pollution. So which was actually leading to the healing of the planet itself. So that's a pretty good thing. So a good side of the pandemic was actually your planet was healing. So I think it's more of an individual
Perspective.
effort. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, but
Go on.
you need to play your role
Mm-hmm.
in the environment, and that's how we can survive. We can have a better planet, a better life for our future generations as well. So basically, the sustainability is actually how well humans are coexisting in the biosphere.
Okay.
So all the resources that we have, all the natural resources, renewable resources, and the environment and the people, how are we utilizing those resources and making sure we are not harming the planet?
Okay.
So the non-renewable resources like fuels and oil and gases,
Yeah.
we are losing them at a very fast rate, and we are harming the planet at a very fast rate. So yeah.
So that's what sustainability is about, reducing our impacts, our negative impacts.
Yeah,
on
our
the
negative
planet.
impacts on the environment.
Okay. What about you, Darren?
So, for me, from what I thought is like how all the factory kind of like put on a pause state.
Yeah.
So like there's less manufacture going on like all around the world, and you can clearly see the effect that has on Earth. Like you can see that in China, the air pollution it's lower now,
Right.
and also the river in what was it, Paris, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it got cleaner now, and like all the animals are returning to their own habitat, like marine life. So like you can clearly see that, like before the pandemic, you can see like all the factories going on. Like you can see that it really affected the area in those countries, and also like tourism contributes to that as well. Like in Japan, there's like a lot of littering going around from tourists and from forth and on. So like so and like all those animals do tend to like get food from tourists, and like some of them won't look for their own food. Like right, it's not related for the animal part, but still it's some
Codependent.
still like there's impact to that. Yeah, so like I just see like this pandemic is a good time for the Earth to heal itself.
Right.
Yeah, because as what Zahra said, like I wouldn't say it's zero emission for carbon emission, but
No,
still-
less.
less. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
for
got
sure they can't be zero.
Yeah, minimalized to like a lot lesser. Yeah.
Oh, but did you know that Swinburne, they have this, it's part of the Sustainable Development Goals,
Yeah.
but by year 2025, Swinburne wants to become a zero carbon emission campus. I have no idea how you want to do that. It's so hard because everything has carbon in it. Everything, even this.
Okay. Swimmer already having the swimmer is becoming green more and more. Okay, so there's already the 3R campaign.
Yeah, 3R campaign.
That's
Swimmer's
very
been
good.
pushing it really hard.
3Rs, reduce, recycle.
Yeah. Reuse.
I already said reuse.
Wait,
Reduce.
Okay. Alright.
Yeah, go on.
So another thing that we can actually see how is it benefiting is actually we're reducing the plastic as well.
Yeah.
So we're actually also contributing to the healing of the planet.
Okay.
And I mean, yeah, this is just like how we were talking about how we can actually do individually do this.
Yeah.
So using, because right now still in cafe we can choose to get the plastic container or not to get the plastic container.
Yeah.
So maybe we can start bringing out our own containers and stop using those plastics. So if individually we'll do some efforts, so maybe we can reach the swimburn goal more faster than 5 years, and that would be a lot better.
Like what Spy have now, they do give you offer if you bring your own tumbler. Yeah, in effort to reduce like the usage of one-use cup.
Right.
Yeah, and like in cafeteria, you're also using paper straw, which I'm not really sure if it's as effective as it is, because like you can't recycle that. But still, it's better than using plastic straw, as you know, like plastic is made from fuels and
Yeah.
So, in effort to like promote sustainability and on campus, Siemens has been doing really well on that part.
Plastic production is not only contributing to the greenhouse effect, but it's also harming the environment, as in harming the animals.
Right.
Yeah, especially the marine life. Like turtle do mistaken like plastic bag as jellyfish and causing a lot of death, and like whales and other marine life that consume like microplastic. Also, it does indirectly like affect human as well. Like when we eat those fish, and those fish does like eat in some microplastic. We have like, so in return, like we eat those fish, right? There's like microplastic in it, but we don't know about that. So yeah.
Okay.
Still consume it.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask. So we all know what plastics are and why they're so nasty, because they take years to biodegrade, to degrade itself. Yeah. What in the name of potatoes are microplastics?
Alright, you can go first.
Okay, you're answering the next question first. I'll go with this one. Okay. So microplastic is actually plastic but smaller in size. So you know how anything, like for example this phone, if I just like throw it and slowly it will be consumed by microorganisms or anything, it will be destroyed and converted into very tiny particles.
Right.
This is a normal process. But for plastics, when they are converted into very small particles, they still remain as plastics. So it's very hard for them to convert into very small particles that are no more harming the environment. So plastics converting into more smaller plastics are still microplastics, are still plastics. So microplastics is not the end of the the smaller size of plastics. They can further convert into a nanoplastics. So basically, let's say this is a plastic, and a very small size of plastic is called microplastics.
Right.
So you can find a lot of microplastics in the water, but you can actually find microplastics everywhere. Currently, whatever food we're eating, we are probably eating microplastics with it. So we have microplastics in our body. We are using microplastics. We have them in almost every product that we are using currently.
Wow.
We are wearing microplastics.
We are microplastics. I feel like this is an intervention.
We are cake. Alright, never mind.
I don't get it.
Alright, never mind.
Oh, so cake. Okay. You know what? Cake probably has microplastics in it too.
It's alright.
It's okay. But now my question is to you, Darren. What can us individuals do to reduce our contribution to microplastics if it's already in everything?
Alright, so
Do we inhale microplastics by doing?
No.
Oh, okay.
Possibly.
Just check it.
We consume it.
Okay.
so maybe we should like practice 3R and like
3R? Okay.
like reduce, reuse and recycle your plastic stuff, like reuse like stuff that you can reuse instead of throwing it away after one use. And another is that, alright, as you know, right, like shirt is made from fiber, like
fibers.
Yeah, fibers.
It's cool.
Alright, so like when you wash it, like all those fibers would wash away, and those are like microplastic. Not all, but some are. Yeah, so some are microplastic as well. So maybe try to reduce like the use of try to not buy as many shirts as like just buy to a certain amount that you need.
Okay.
Yeah, don't like
Basically, don't contribute.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. But what if?
And reduce like your usage on plastic. Yeah. Still.
Okay. Okay. Have you guys? I know this is a personal question, but have you guys done efforts to reduce your footprint on microplastics?
Oh, for sure. Okay, I'll go first.
Okay, sure.
You go.
So for individually, I'll give you an example. The most common microplastic form or whatever you can find in a product is actually the shampoos and the conditioners and the body washes.
So you don't take showers?
No, listen, potato. They had like a micro beads in it. You will see like different colors. Yes, the scrubs, different colors of micro beads. They look very pretty. Like from golden to like almost all the colors. They're actually plastics. So you are washing yourself with it, and you're releasing tons of microplastic in the waterways. So you are contributing to microplastics. So what we can do is stop buying those kind of products and just buy the products that don't have microbeads in it. If you just read the behind air, which is written like what are the products inside it, you'll see all different kind of types of plastics in it. Some of the names are there.
Oh,
actually
the ingredients?
Oh, they're in the ingredients.
Jesus, this whole time I just wash myself with whatever smells nice, and then I noticed. Okay, got it.
Yeah, I think that's what most of us does, right? It smells good, then we use it.
Exactly. I just want to smell like potatoes sometimes. They don't have that yet. Don't worry, I'm on it.
But you can use the potato, cut it and scrub it. That's very good
I
for
think
your
the skin is good,
Yeah, that's very good for skin.
And that's
Oh.
one way of me reducing my microplastic contribution
No.
by using potato skin.
Really?
No.
Like,
Or you can actually chop the potatoes into tiny and
make
add
curry.
them. No.
very naked inside your shampoo.
No, add them in your shampoo, yes. You really need something to scrub.
Right, and also if I want to smell like potatoes.
Yeah.
Does it smell good though?
Potato smells good.
No, I mean like as in raw potato, like scrubbing it on your
Oh.
Okay, well, we talked about a halftime break. We have reached 15 minutes. We're going to take a short break right now. We will be right back. Say bye to the audience first.
Bye.
No, to your own camera.
Oh, bye.
Okay.
Welcome back. Wait, do we have to say it?
You don't have to. It's fine. It's
Alright.
fine. I have one job. You want to take that?
Alright,
also.
sure.
Fine.
Sorry. My bad.
It's cool. What did we visit? What did we visit before this? Oh yeah, you were telling me about.
Microplastic.
Oh, and we can put it in our potatoes in our shower gel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But don't potatoes already have microplastics? You said just now they're in everything, right? And with the way that the water flows on the planet, we release into the ocean, and the ocean goes into rivers, and the rivers then water the fields of potatoes.
I think that's like how just now. Maybe I need to make it more clear to the audience what microplastic is.
Calling me a
Microplastic is no.
Alright, go
Okay,
ahead.
microplastic is not like bacteria that you can't see. Microplastic is still a plastic, but tiny grains. Just imagine salt. You can see each grain of the salt, right? Now just convert that into just imagine instead of salt is microplastic. It's plastic. So tiny particles of plastic that you can see. So I was googling.
Okay. I think Shelton will insert a picture for the audience to see.
Okay, I mean you can just type microplastic in Google and you'll see it.
They're so pretty though. You would never guess because they're so pretty.
Oh, there are different kind of microplastics.
Have you ever seen a pink one?
Oh yeah, I mean, you have pink shopping bags.
Plastic bags, yeah.
Plastic
You're
bags.
right, you're right. Yeah. I'm sorry, I wasn't correcting you. No, I was agreeing with you. Go on.
They'll be further divided into very tiny particles.
Yeah.
So you can hold them.
Of course you can.
And they can go smaller than that.
Oh
You
yeah,
said nano.
that's what you call. Nano is the size. So micro is the size. Nano is the size. It can go further down, but it won't be biodegrade completely.
And will there ever be a moment when they are not visible no longer?
In million years. or few hundred years. Like even now, so apparently there are two type of plastics, right? The major types, so biodegradable and non-biodegradable.
Right.
So apparently the biodegradable, they are not even easy to degrade. They need certain environment, certain temperature, certain pH, and certain basically conditions
Okay.
to be
Biodegradable.
degraded. Yes, into the very tiny particles.
Wow.
It takes a long time as well.
Yeah.
So let's just not use plastics at all.
Yeah.
Is paper better then, in that case? Or
It
does
is,
that
but
also
again,
help?
the paper
Not really.
industries are releasing the carbon as well.
Yeah.
Basically any
I think the best here is like to reuse, just reuse. Don't use like one-use items.
Okay.
like whatever we already have it, just reuse it. So we are not creating more. We're not burdening.
We're
the
sustaining it.
environment.
Yeah.
So even the idea of recycling things isn't the best because that also contributes to emissions. In this case, like if I just say I use this paper, I send this book after I'm done, send it for recycling, and then that still isn't the best because it's paper. You said just now, right?
No, it's good enough.
Okay.
You're not. Okay, just like the Peplet project, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that?
That's reusing though.
Yeah,
That's recycling.
that's reusing. Yeah, we just reuse paper.
But they are also sending it for recycling.
Okay. It's very intervention moment. Okay, got it. My next question to you is something I think everybody in the audience wants to know. Does being vegetarian really save the planet?
Sorry?
You heard me, sis. Does being vegetarian really save the planet?
Vegetarian. Alright. I won't speak for all, just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Not really. Yeah, it's not really, but somewhat somehow at the same time. Like, so like you know like how vegetarian. Alright. So when you're vegetarian, you don't eat meat, right?
Yeah.
So like you do contribute to like less carbon footprint as like not a lot of like animal. Alright. Oops.
Animals
Sorry.
not hurt in the process.
No, not animal not hurt in the process. You don't mass breed animal.
Do what? Mass breed? Oh,
Mass
okay.
breed
okay.
animals.
Yeah.
You know how we consume a lot of meat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we need a lot of animals for that.
And animals do release a lot of like carbon emission.
Right.
Yeah, like carbon dioxide. So it like
So basically, in us eating meat and encouraging that side, we are actually encouraging the mass breeding of these animals,
Yeah.
and that increases the emissions,
yeah.
rather than what it would have been if we didn't eat meat and then
But-
they would naturally produce an equal amount. Is that what it is? Is it like that?
Okay, so
Sorry.
if it was
no, really, okay, I don't know.
I mean, we are also just giving our opinions, so it's alright.
Yeah.
If it wasn't the if it wasn't the animal farming, if it wasn't the meat,
Mm-hmm.
human will find another way to release the carbon and basically overexploit the natural resources.
We're just
So
nasty.
the
Yeah,
problem
but-
is not just the meat or the
Yeah.
microplastic, it's us,
Yeah.
humans.
Yeah.
We need to understand that. Yeah, this is true that animal farming consumes to a very large carbon footprint. It's like one of the top, you'll find it on top of the list of agriculture footprint or animal footprint. And yes, you can eat vegetables and reduce the carbon footprint, but instead of that, why don't you reduce, do everything in
Yeah.
a proper amount,
Yeah.
like don't
Balance?
a balance.
Yeah.
Don't overexploit the natural resources in every way. Don't use too much of plastic, don't consume too much of meat. Just have a balanced diet so that there would be less stress on all these kind of different industries and there would be less carbon emission.
Yeah. But to add on to that, like you said, like if everyone like went to vegetarian, like become vegetarian, the thing is like is like all the vegetable we have now enough to meet the demand of the customer.
Right.
Yeah. So if there's not if we can't meet the demand, right, we're still going to do like deforestation, like to grow more plants just to meet like all the customers like demand. Yeah, enough food supply to all of us. So still it's not really solving the problem here. It's just a solution, but a solution to cause another problem.
Just like moving one carbon footprint to another side.
Yeah.
But the problem is still there.
Yeah.
You're right.
It's not solved.
Okay.
but people do feel better about it. Alright, let's not about that. Let's not about that part. Yeah.
No touch. Okay, got it. Which leads me to my next question. You talked about how we should have a balance and all that jazz, which is I think that's really nice. Thank you. So I can still eat meat. I just have to do it more ethically. Okay.
Yeah.
But
Just don't waste food.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, don't waste food.
okay. My next question is: you guys have heard about lab-grown meat before, I'm sure. And I'm not going to relate it to Dolly, the first sheep that was lab-grown. I'm not going to do that. But what I'm asking is, I looked this up and it says that probably everybody in this room has already tried lab-grown meat because it's so common. It's more common than we realize. And when I heard this when I was a kid as well, I think not a kid, a teenager like that. When I heard about this, I wasn't too affected by it because I thought, oh, it's just, I think it's a form of cloning, is it?
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Genetically
Modified?
is a GMO. But
Okay.
Yeah.
The GMO.
GMOs.
GMOs. Organism. Okay.
Genetically modified organisms.
Alright.
Yeah. So that I thought consuming that is not such a big deal because it's basically like me consuming meat. But my question now is, how ethical, honestly, in your tell me the truth, okay, just break my heart. How ethical is it to produce and also consume lab-grown meat?
You go first.
For me, I think it really depends like what's behind the scene. Right? So talking about ethical, I'm not really sure about the ethical part, but in my opinion, I think like maybe there's a long-term effect on us human being. Like maybe does it have like all the nutrition that the actual meat provides? Like how does it affect us in the long term, in the long run, instead of like what we have now? So like how would it affect us?
Right.
Yeah.
You mean all the chemicals that are going in here?
Yeah, not only the chemical, but does it have enough nutrition for us? Like does it mean like what do we need in the daily basis? Yeah. So that's part of the important question here. Another is that like what is the process involved? Like what are the materials being used? Like how many like how much do we need to put in for this? For example, like a normal lab-grown meat now costs a lot to produce because it's still not mass producing it, and they do need a lot of like plants and like chemicals. Sorry, let's not go too deep here. Not go too deep here. So it still uses a lot of resources to produce just a small ounce of like meat.
Right.
Yeah. So it's still using a lot of resources. For me, I don't think it's as sustained. It's not as sustained yet, maybe.
Right.
But yeah, we'll see in the future.
Okay. What about you, Zahra? I see you're really excited.
Yeah. Very
Because it's
excited.
something that I like,
Let it
a
out.
topic that I'm into, food,
Yeah.
biotech, and food, yes.
Right. So what is the ethicality in producing and consuming
Okay,
lab-grown meat?
I think we have come a very far way from that era where like the biotechnology was still new. Now everything around us has some part of biotech in it.
Right.
So the plants, they are genetically modified as well. Okay, I'll give you
hybrid plant.
Yes, I'll give you an example. In my country, Pakistan, I have to mention it.
She's from Pakistan, okay. In case you didn't know. Yeah.
Whenever I have a chance, whenever I have a chance.
Let them know.
So when I was still like a little, okay, not a baby, but like I was 6 to 7 years old.
Okay.
We had seasons for apples and bananas.
Yeah.
But when I turned 16, they were available throughout the year.
Oh.
So how was that possible? Genetically?
I was thinking about this too the other day. I saw durian. It's not even durian season.
Durian.
It's monsoon season. Why are there durians? Okay. Evo, go on.
So just like that. So if you're talking about the meat, okay, forget about the meat. Let's talk about the chicken first.
Okay.
Chicken and eggs.
Okay.
Which comfort?
I was just gonna say.
Chicken.
You need an egg to hatch the chicken. And you also
Anyways.
need chicken to produce. Okay, go on.
Alright, what do you think comes first?
I don't know. I think like a Jesus.
What?
I don't know. Okay, continue. What do you think?
So there's an increase.
Chicken.
Oh my gosh, guys!
What do you look like?
Chicken.
Okay.
Chicken.
I'll just stick with Jesus then. Go on.
This increased production of, in order to increase the production of eggs, of course, some hormones and everything are given to chicken. So I mean, it's very common in the industry. It's very common. So so biotech is literally everywhere. So just like the meat, it's the same thing as well. They're given certain hormones, or like even they're genetically modified,
Right.
you know, to act certain way, or to produce, to increase the yield, or to increase the meat itself.
Mm-hmm.
And the lab grown meat is basically, so just now you were saying, right, how each one of us actually have eaten the lab grown meat.
Yeah.
It might not be the fully lab grown meat.
Okay, partially then.
It was either, not partially, but just like little part of it. Just like how I mentioned, now we have a lot of eggs, you know,
Yeah.
because of the certain hormones.
Oh,
So
okay.
so the chicken is not the genetically modified, but some part of the biotech is, you know, used in it to increase the production. So just like that. Okay, but the lab grown meat is totally a different case. It is literally grown in the lab,
Yeah.
starting from a stem cell. So a very tiny cell, a microscopic cell.
That hasn't been differentiated.
I see some Googling has been done.
No, it's a few things that I remember from biology. I actually never liked biology, no offense.
Okay.
I like you though.
But why though?
Biology?
Yeah, how dare you.
I'm a physics gal. Biology just doesn't do it for me. Yeah, go on.
So that's genetically modified, and just like how you were saying, it's very expensive because you're basically growing cells,
Yeah.
living cells, and you need to feed them. So feeding them the food
Yeah.
is expensive.
Still costs a lot to go through all the process
Yeah.
and the resources being
Mhm.
used.
And then you'll have a lab grown meat, and it will have almost either similar nutrients
Yeah.
or more than that. So these are the things, because the genes are the meat genes.
Yeah.
These are the cells from
That's
the
what
meat
I-
itself.
yeah.
So the
Yeah.
nutrients amount will be same. But there would be, if let's say the lab grown meat is like a thing in the market right now, it's very expensive. So
Yeah.
I don't think we even can imagine having it on like everywhere in the market.
Mhm.
But if let's say somehow we find a way to make it cheaper and then mass produce it, then it will just cause people to become obese. It will increase in obesity because there will
That
be just
escalated quick.
there will be just a lot amount of meat
Yeah.
there for us to consume without thinking about harming the animals. So more people will go for it. you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Do you think we should be more careful and make sure that the meat we're eating is not in any way lab produced, or?
At this point, you can't really.
I will go to the uncle and Nasi Kandar and I would ask him, do you know where the chicken came from or not? If you don't, I'm not eating it.
I mean, either way, it's.
Darren.
I mean, like,
Sorry.
either way you think like lab grown meat or like just normal meat, just to make sure that you just eat the enough amount that you need.
Okay.
Just don't overdo it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the most
But
important
going to
part.
the same part.
Yeah.
Don't waste the food.
Yeah, don't waste the food. Yes. Even if you're wasting lab grown meat or organic meat, still you're wasting it and still.
It's somehow contributing to the carbon emission or the pollution. Harming the planet.
Still come to the same point again.
Basically, it's about what was the word?
Which word?
The word
There's a lot of words.
to balance.
Sustainability.
No, that's not it. It's fine. I forgot the word.
Anyway, there was the word.
Yeah, that's a word that she forgot.
Which was a very important word.
It was.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you guys so much for joining us today. The conclusions of today's discussion so far has been we have to reduce our one-time plastic usage.
Yeah.
Microbeads are evil.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Humans are nasty.
Yeah.
And lab-grown meats are not the best. So therefore, we should all try to
Join the Green Club.
yeah, do
Or
that.
both.
Why not? What's the word? Just make sure there's a balance in your life. Eat everything equally. Okay? Alright.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us. I will end the podcast session by asking you two a question.
Yeah.
Are you ready for the question? No, that wasn't the question.
Alright.
Yes, thank you.
No,
Let's go.
Alright. Thank you
No,
very
I didn't
much.
ask the question yet.
What is it?
Do you guys agree to engage in collaboration between your two clubs?
We are having
Yeah.
a very big collaboration.
Yeah, we already
Plug.
already have an
Tell us about it.
event going, activity going on, not going on, planning.
Upcoming.
Yeah,
Yep.
upcoming.
Next year, in the first few months, you guys have to wait for it.
You want to tell us what it's about?
Just a little bit, maybe.
Potato?
Yeah.
No, it's not about potatoes.
It's about garbage.
it's gonna be another green.
It's about garbage. It's about all of us.
No, it's about.
It's about all of us. Okay, great.
Okay, sure.
It's one step near to the future Swinburne goals of going green.
Yeah.
But it's about microplastics. No, it's about plastics.
Yeah, it's about. We're making a display out of plastic.
We're making a display out of plastic, yes, using the waste from the campus.
Got it. So you're reusing.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. You heard it here first. The Biotech Club and the Green Club have engaged in holy matrimony. They can now kiss behind the scenes. How? Not you, the clubs. Chill. Okay.
Alright, move on. Let's get this face. Alright.
Okay. I'm sorry. That came out naturally. I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us on today's episode of the SSSC Show. I'm Potato.
He's Darren.
Darren, Zahra.
Have a nice day. Stay beautiful and don't fall down. Bye.